So I've been jacked my entire 20s, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to build an attractive physique that gets women to stare and commands respect when you walk in the room. I'm going to be giving you an exact workout plan that you can follow, as well as a diet protocol that you can use to transform your physique in the next 60 days. All right, guys, so let's get into it. This video is about getting you the attractive aesthetic physique. That is what the nutrition plan and the workout plan is going to help you with achieving. This is what we're talking about right here, the lean, muscular, athletic looking physique that obviously is the one that attracts the women. If you're watching this video, you're obviously smart enough to know that the psyop that tells you that women like the dad bod is total bullshit. There is a reason every Hollywood actor who is supposed to be the good looking guy in a movie has this kind of physique. This is the kind of physique that women are attracted to. It's just an obvious fact. And once you reach this level for yourself, you'll find it out just like I have found it out. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to be focusing on building a lean, athletic, V-tapered physique. Let's get into the workout program, and then I'll tell you what you need to do for the diet. So the first workout that we've got, and I'll just tell you the way we're going to do this. The way that I focus my training when it comes to building muscle and having an aesthetic physique is I train 3 days on and then I take a day off. Now, just for clarity's sake here, I have started doing martial arts and I train boxing multiple times per week. So I've had to tinker with my program a little bit to incorporate that in. But if I was purely focused on getting an aesthetic, attractive physique, this is the program that I would follow. It's the program I have followed in the past. So the first workout that we're going to do is chest and arms. And the first exercise you're going to do is an incline barbell press. Incline barbell press is a lot better than doing flat press because the flat bench press, it's really not that practical. First of all, like when are you ever going to need that? Like if you find yourself in more of like a, a boxing situation, or even if you play football and things like that, you'll find that the incline press is a lot more practical for more athletic purposes. And then also it's going to get you the aesthetic physique, because when it comes to an aesthetic physique, you really want to focus on training your upper chest, your shoulders, your traps, and your lats. Those are the big areas you really want to make sure you develop, because that's going to give you that broad V-tapered shape. It's going to make your chest look a lot bigger. Men naturally have a more developed lower chest. And so I prefer focusing on incline barbell bench press. That's the first exercise we're doing. Next up, single arm dumbbell press. I like doing the single arm press because it requires a lot of stabilization. So it tends to get your core engaged a bit. It tends to train your shoulders a little bit, as well as your chest, as well as your triceps, because you've got to stabilize the weight, as you can see at the top of the movement. I find this to be a great exercise. I know a lot of boxers use this kind of movement. It's just something that I've started to incorporate recently that I really enjoy. So that's the next exercise we're going to be doing. And by the way, at the end, I'm going to give you guys the exact workout, including the reps and the sets. So you don't have to worry about that. You can literally screenshot it when we're done here. The next exercise is the barbell curl. This is my favorite barbell. My favorite bicep exercise. I prefer the barbell to the dumbbell myself. So that's the next exercise you're going to be doing. Next up, we've got dips. I didn't have a video of me doing it, so you get this guy doing the dips right here. Dips, to me, they're a great compound tricep movement. They're going to get a little bit of chest, a little bit of shoulders. They tend to work your core a little bit as well. It's a great exercise to throw in there. I think that doing things like dips and pull-ups, they tend to give your body a more athletic looking shape than doing machine variations of them. So when I can, I try to incorporate these things in. So you're going to do dips as your main tricep movement. If you can't do dips, then do them on the side of a bench. If you can't do them on the side of the bench, then do them on a dip machine, right? They've got those machines where you just push down. Do something like that. And if you can, do weighted dips. Get like a 45-pound plate, put it around your waist, do weighted dips if you can do that. Next exercise up is the dumbbell fly, incline dumbbell fly. That is, again, we're focusing on that upper chest with this movement. This one's more focused on width development. You're developing the width of your chest, which again is going to give you that broader looking chest, which is going to make you fill out the shirts, have that aesthetic V-tapered frame. Next exercise up is a hammer curl. I like to do hammer curls kind of heavy. My form isn't, bodybuilder approved. There's all these like people who are like Nazis about the form of everything, and they're like wannabe bodybuilders, like professional bodybuilders and shit. It's like in real life, you're not going to sit there, like you're not going to take steroids and then focus on like 3-second perfect contractions on all your exercises. So I think this like form Nazi bullshit is so fucking gay. Like, just like, listen, you want to have good form, obviously. Like my form is fine here, but I just know somebody's going to bitch about it. My point being with this is that I find that if I train with heavier movements and my form is sacrificed a little bit, as long as you're able to still concentrate on the muscle group that you want to train, I find I get get better muscle development than if I sit there, you know, doing really slow contracted reps and things like that. I just find I don't get as good of results from that. I also don't enjoy it as much. And also the muscle you're going to build that way is very impractical, because it's not explosive muscle. It's just like, it's purely for purely for appearances. And I want my muscle to not only be something that looks good, but also has some practical use, some actual strength behind it. This is why I talk about being aesthetic and dangerous on the channel. I talk about building an aesthetic, attractive physique, but also being able to do damage with that physique. That's why I do martial arts. And it's also why I've recently been trying to incorporate more explosive movements into my training as well. Continuing on, the last exercise for this workout is this right here, the tricep push down, the staple of everybody's tricep exercise. This is the last exercise you're going to do. It's really an isolation movement for the tricep. You can see me, I'm like fucking around here with my friend while I'm doing this exercise, but it's a great exercise for you to finish your workouts out with. So here is the complete workout. As you can see, incline bench, 4 sets, 6 to 8 reps, single arm dumbbell press, 3 sets, 10 to 12 reps. That's per arm. So you want to do 10 to 12 reps per arm. Barbell curl, 4 sets, 12 reps, 10 reps, 8 reps, 6 reps. Do 4 sets of dips to failure. Incline dumbbell, 3 sets, 12 reps. Hammer curl, 3 sets of 6 to 8 reps. Again, that's per arm. Tricep push down, 3 sets, 12 to 15 reps. So let's get on to the second workout, which is shoulders, back, and traps. First exercise you're going to do is a pull-up. If you can't do pull-ups, do lat pull-downs, but if you can do pull-ups, they are far superior. I would tell you, if you can do a minimum of 3 sets of 5 reps on pull-ups, then I would switch over to pull-ups and work on those. They just give your body like I don't know how to describe it, but it's just a much better appearance, and they train, I think it's more of a compound movement than a lat pull-down. I just find I get much better results, and again, it's more practical. A pull-up is one of the most practical things you can be good at when it comes to fitness. You know what I'm saying? So this is how we're starting it off with, is pull-ups. Next exercise, standing barbell press, as you can see right here. Then we're going to go on to a single arm dumbbell row. So you're going to do a full set with one side, and then you're going to switch to the other side and do the dumbbell row. I like doing it on this bench right here. I prefer the single arm because you can get a better rotation than doing both arms at the same time. And you can use more weight, which again, I'm a believer in trying to use more weight and trying to be a little bit more explosive than using lighter weight and trying to really focus on contractions. Next exercise, you're going to do a superset. Superset is when you do one exercise and then you switch immediately to the next exercise without taking a break, and that becomes one complete set. So the first exercise is an Arnold press right here. And then the next exercise you're going to do is a lateral dumbbell raise. So this is a killer move, the killer superset for really blasting your shoulders. I use this one all the time. So that's the next thing you're going to do. After that, you're going to do this thing. I talked about this exercise in the 10 exercises and 3 meals you need to eat to get jacked video. I still don't know what to call it. It's like a behind the back, it's a behind the back shrug, but you also get your rear delts incorporated because you do the shrug. I'll try and like describe it here, but like you do the shrug and then you lift your elbows at the end, and it causes the tension to get put on your rear delts. So you do your shrug and then you do the rear delts at the same time. You're going to use lighter weight than you would normally do on a shrug. This video of me back when I had fucking hair in my early 20s is like, I think this is the first time I ever tried it. My form isn't amazing for this. This is an exercise where I know I said you want to like, I'm not a big fan of doing like slow contracted movements. This is one where you'd probably be better off having a little bit more control than weight on it. I will say that. Next exercise is the last one here, which is the cable rear delt fly. So you can see right there. The thing you want to focus on with this one, focus on pulling out with your hands. That's how you're really going to make sure you isolate your rear delt. If you're kind of like just pulling it back, it's going to be kind of all over the place. But if you focus on like using your hands to just pull all the way out, it's going to get what we're trying to focus on, which is the rear delts. So here's the full exercise, full workout that is. Pull-ups, you're going to do 3 sets to failure, which means you're just literally going to go until you can't go anymore. Standing barbell press, 4 sets, 12 reps, 8 reps, 8 reps, 5 reps. Dumbbell row, you're going to do 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps. For the superset, you're going to do 4 sets, Arnold press, 8 reps, and the lateral raises, you're going to do 12 to 15 reps. Then you're going to do that barbell shrug variation, 3 sets of 12 reps. Then you're going to do a cable rear delt fly, 3 sets, 15 reps. So let's get on to the third and final workout, which is legs and abs. First thing you're going to do, I like to do abs first because abs are the easiest thing for you to skip. And so I do abs at the beginning. The first exercise you're going to do is a hanging leg raise. I like to do it where I literally touch my toes to the bar. So this is the first exercise you're going to do. If you can't do that, then the variation is to do a hanging knee raise like this. If you can't do something like that, just find like another variation. Do fucking sit-ups until you can do it. Something like that. But this is my go-to is a hanging raise is my go-to ab exercise. Next up, you're going to do the toe touches right here. This another video of me back in the day when I had hair. I always like seeing these videos of me when I had hair. Like I just realized like I've been doing this just for so long, and it's kind of cool to have documented this whole time. I was like 21 in this video. But I like this exercise right here. It's great for the upper abs. This is a high volume exercise. You're going to do like 25 reps of this. So that's the next ab exercise. Then we're going to do calves first again, because it's easy if you blast legs to then go like to skip calves if you have them at the end. So I always do calves and abs at the beginning of the exercise of the workout. So you're gonna do a calf raise right here. I prefer it on the standing machine like this. Then we're gonna get into barbell squats. And you might be thinking like this is pretty, like I'm flying through this kind of, and it's honestly because like you guys have got to understand so many people are complicating fitness. Fitness is really about consistency, discipline, and like repetition. Just keep doing the same shit. Like if you just kind of dial in the basics, you're going to be fine. And that's why this is fairly basic stuff, but I'm just trying to simplify it down for you and not waste your time and just give you a like no BS approach to getting jacked. So you're going to do squats. This is the first and primary exercise that you're going to focus on for your legs. Then we're going to do the Bulgarian split squat. As you can see, you're going to put a foot up on a bench, dumbbells in both hands. I prefer it in both hands. Some people put one dumbbell in one hand and it's just a heavier dumbbell. I like both hands. And then you're just going to alternate right there, training one leg. This is a brutal fucking exercise. Next thing you're going to do quad extensions right here. I like doing really high rep quad extensions. I find it's a great finisher to a workout, and this is the last exercise that we're going to do for this one. So that's what I do. So this is the complete workout. Hanging leg raises, 3 sets, 15. Toe touches, 3 sets, 25. You're going to do calf raises, 4 sets of 12. Then you're going to do the squats. You're going to do 4 sets of 12, 10, 8, and 6. You're going to do Bulgarian split squat, 3 sets of 8, and that's per leg. Then you're going to do quad extensions. You're going to do 3 sets of 30 and just blast them to finish it off. That's how I do it. And the main thing you want to focus on with these training things too is like, make sure that you're progressively increasing the weight and just stay consistent with the exercises. In fact, I think I put it right here. Yeah, like don't overcomplicate the workouts. Like so many people just like, they want to add in like different exercises to everything. They're always trying to like overcomplicate shit. And I've had to talk to like previous fitness coaching clients I've had, as well as guys in my school community right now who are going through the workout program and things like that, to just tell them like, listen, don't overcomplicate this. I know this looks really fucking simple and you're looking to make this more difficult than it is, but like truthfully, it's about doing the basics consistently and just getting better at them. It's just like in boxing, you know, like it seems like every time I go train boxing, like we're focused on footwork or we're focused on the jab. And it's just like you perfect these things. And once you perfect them, you go on to the next thing. But in the case of bodybuilding or just weight training and things like that, you really, it's just like stick with the basics and just keep it moving, right? And just keep doing that, keep tinkering. Really, the diet is a little bit more complicated than the workouts. The workouts themselves are pretty straightforward. I mean, if you go in there and do this, you're going to get jacked straight up. Keep the same exercises and focus on increasing the weight consistently. Again, I tell the guys in the school community with the workout program, it's literally like you repeat the same workouts over and over again. And the reason being is because, like, let's say you do incline barbell press today, and then next week you do flat bench. It's like, well, how can you know if you're going up in weight consistently? Because you're changing the workouts and the exercises, that is. And it's like, if you keep the same exercises, you know, okay, last week I did 3 sets of 8 reps at 135 pounds. And this week I did 3 sets of 8 reps at 140 pounds or something like that. Like, you know, the weight's going up, which is a good indicator that you're getting stronger, you're getting more muscular. And this is how you can track your progress and consistently get better. It's called progressive overload. So the next thing we're going to focus on here is the diet. If you look like either of these physiques, anything remotely like it, you're a skinny guy or you've got the skinny fat body like this, the first thing you want to do is go on a 6-month bulk. And I know all these motherfuckers want to get abs. right? This is something like a lot of guys, like it's a boyish kind of mindset where they're just like obsessed with having abs. But like if you have abs but you're skinny as fuck, it's not really impressive. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a much better philosophy to focus on building muscle first, as long as you're not seriously overweight. Focus on building muscle first and then cut back down. So that way you've got the muscle and the abs, which is the physique that you really want. And here's how I know this works. This is a former client of mine. This is I believe it was about 6-month transformation. I think this was January to July right here. And we just went on a bulk. And you can see like even like he was in a calorie surplus, and even in the second picture there, he looks leaner simply because he put on muscle at the same time. And like his bench press went from like, I think like 115 pounds to 205 pounds, I think, in 6 months. And obviously he looks a lot more muscular. He even looks leaner because of that. So you want to focus on that. You build the base. And then what happens is we had him lean back down and go on a cut. And this is what you end up looking like after 12 months if you do this. So you got to focus on building muscle first. Go on the bulk first, because you can cut the fat later. You want to capitalize on the fact that if you're new to training, it's much easier to build muscle. It's called noob gains. When you're new to the gym, your body will be like a hyper responder to the stimulus, and you'll grow a lot faster than somebody like myself who has to like fucking bust their ass to keep building muscle at some point, because I've kind of reached my like natural threshold for muscle growth. But if you're at the beginning, you can just put on a lot of muscle really fast, and we want to capitalize on that. So you want to focus on the bulk first. Start with bulking and capitalize on the noob gains. Bulk for 6 months and do a slow cut for 6 months, meaning we want to do this very like we want to do a gradual cut. You got to be patient with this. This is a mindset hack. You got to understand. So many guys are so, and I get it, I guess, because you've never really done this before. And so you're insecure about if you can actually do it, but just trust the process. If you're in a calorie surplus, you're going to build muscle. You're going to put on a little bit of fat, but then we go on the cut. You're going to trim the fat back off. You're going to have your abs again. So don't panic about this. Just do it correctly. We want to do it slow though, because a lot of guys will panic and go on some crazy cut. They'll start doing a bunch of cardio and they'll just fuck up all the progress they got. You want to do a very gradual cut, a light one. Like you're probably like 200 or 300 calories in a deficit, and you're focusing on getting enough protein in, making sure that it's the right kind of food, steak, eggs, ground beef, the kind of things I'm going to talk about here in a second. And you will get all the fat off of you, and you will have that lean physique. You got to trust the process. Now, if you look more like our boy Beer Gut here, you probably want to approach it a little bit different, because this is kind of like, you're on the threshold here. This is like 26% body fat. If you go in a bulk up to 30% body fat while trying to build muscle, it's just going to be a bit excessive. So we're going to approach it a little bit different if this is more what you look like. You're going to do a light cut, but not extreme. So again, you're going to be in like a 200 to 300 calorie deficit, and we're going to focus more on changing the things you're eating, which is going to help you recomp at the same time that you're building muscle. And when I say recomp, what I mean is it's called a body recomposition. Essentially, if you're training and you change what you're eating, even if you're not in a bulk, your body is still going to dramatically change in its appearance. It's called recomposition. So we're going to do a light cut, focus on eating the right things and getting in the gym, and you're going to find that you'll still be able to build some muscle while cutting off the fat. And so we're just going to focus on doing that for you. You don't want to be in a calorie surplus, but you still want to focus on gaining muscle while burning fat. That's the approach. Again, we want to capitalize on this early phase where you can build as much muscle as possible. So here's the nutrition protocol. You want to do 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight unless you're obese. If you're like, let's say you're 245 pounds and you want to get down to 185 pounds, well, then you don't want to eat 245 grams of protein. I'd probably tell you to eat like 185. So eat for your ideal body weight if you're obese. But if you're just like a normal, like skinny fat guy, or you're just slightly out of shape or something like that, eat 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Less than 100 grams of carbs on a cut, and less than 250 for a bulk. This is for average sized people, right? If you're 6'8", then obviously you're going to have to change this up a bit. This is what I said, like the nutrition is a bit more complicated than the training. Training is actually super straightforward. Nutrition is like, I'm a bit leery to give out one size fits all protocols on nutrition, because our bodies are a bit different. The kind of foods that we respond to are a bit different. So I'm literally just going to tell you what works for me, what has worked for my clients. Do it to the best of your ability. If it's not working for you, my apologies, but just try and tinker with it a bit until you find exactly what works for you. If you have a fast metabolism, meaning you're a hard gainer, like you're the person who just seems like you cannot eat enough to build muscle, then you want to increase the carbs, right? if you're that kind of guy and you really want to build muscle, you can almost just eat whatever the fuck you want and just eat as much as you can. Just get your metabolism till just like you got to get the calories into your body. You got to get enough food into you so you can build muscle. So if you're a hard gainer, you can practically eat whatever you want and just stuff yourself. And if you start gaining excess fat, then cut it down a little bit and just keep focusing on that. And just again, you got to play with this a little bit, guys. It's not really one size fits all. Even with calories, like I'll find that certain people, for me, at this point in my life, I'm 6 feet, 195 pounds. For me to do maintenance calories, meaning that I'm not bulking, I'm not cutting, I'm just kind of maintaining where I'm at, is around 3,000 calories. But I'll know people who are just, again, hard gainers, and they need to eat like 3,600 calories. And then I'll know people who have different body types as well, and they have to eat even less than me. So it's like, it's hard for me to give you a one size fits all approach to this. So I'm trying to give you more of the principles that I do consider mostly universal, and then you tinker with them to make this work for you to the best of your ability. Next thing, build your diet around steak, ground beef, and eggs. This was a game changer for me when I switched off the traditional bodybuilder diet of chicken, rice, and all that bullshit and focused on red meat. It caused my testosterone to go up. I found that I was able to hold muscle with less fat. I found that my brain functioned better. I felt that, just I had more energy. Red meat is a more nutritious meat. Fill in the remainder of your diet with salmon, chicken, avocado, cheese, fruit, rice, sweet potatoes, and beans. I'm telling you exactly what I do, guys. This is like the majority, like 95% of my diet is built around steak, ground beef, and eggs, and then I fill in everything else with maybe some salmon or chicken if I want an alternate meat source occasionally, or I eat avocados on the side, or maybe put it in the eggs. I put cheese on things, fruit, rice, sweet potatoes, beans. This is like the overwhelming majority of my diet is that right there. If you do that, you will get results, okay? Here's some meal examples of things that I eat. This one had everyone in a fucking frenzy when I showed this meal, but just trust me, try this fucking meal before you hate on it. Everybody who has tried this loves it. We were calling it inside the school community, we're calling it the maxed meal. It's just kind of like our meal that everybody inside the group eats at this point. What it is, it's 8 ounces of 85-15 beef, cheddar cheese, half an avocado, sweet potato chips, blueberries, and honey. This thing is this thing is fucking crack, guys. It's great for your testosterone. Honey's great for your testosterone. It's got the fruit in there, which is nutritious. Sweet potatoes are a good carb source. Avocado is a great healthy fat. The cheese and the beef's going to get you some protein in there. This is a great meal for like post-workout, especially if you're like somebody like I eat it a lot of times after martial arts because you're just gassed. And so I'll eat this when I get back. The thing I also want to point out with this, if you're getting honey, make sure you get quality honey, because the thing is, it's like the difference between it's the same with maple syrup. If you get like the Walmart brand fucking maple syrup, that's not even maple syrup. That's just like high fructose corn syrup in a bottle, versus like the quality maple syrup is a completely different product. It's the same with honey. So make sure that you're getting locally raised organic honey, not the fucking Great Value brand honey or some shit like that. It's a completely different product. So make sure you get the quality honey, but honey's great for you. It's a great testosterone booster. This is a great meal across the board. Next thing, these are just example meals, just so you have some ideas. This is like an 8 to 14 ounce New York strip or ribeye. Like that's kind of what I'll eat for a steak. 2 to 3 eggs on the side. It looks like I put some avocado in there as well. And then I have some cut up mango. Sometimes I'll do strawberries or pineapple. So something like that. Again, just meal examples for you guys. Steak and eggs right here. I eat steak and eggs all the time. Usually like once a day, I'll have a steak with some eggs. And then here's another meal. This is a staple. This is 93.7 ground beef, 3 eggs, cheddar cheese, or not cheddar cheese, just shredded cheese. I think I usually use Mexican cheese for this one. Taco sauce. The way you want to cook these is, this is a great meal also for meal prepping, because what you do is you put the entire pound of beef in the pan, you cook the whole thing, then you put in 6 eggs at the end after the beef's cooked, and then you cook the eggs in it, and then you can split it into 2. And that way you've got 2 meals. You've got today's breakfast or whatever, and then tomorrow's breakfast. And so it's a really simple meal to make. This is one of my go-tos. It's like 75 grams of protein and 700 calories. So it's a great, first meal of the day. I'm big on trying to, at the beginning of the day, keep the carbs down, because I don't want the brain fog and the crash midday. And so I tend to try and keep my carbs for the end of the day. So guys, just follow this and you will get jacked. You don't need to overcomplicate this. Now, if you do want to get coaching and accountability to help you achieve this, as well as building the attractive physique and learning how to use use social media and dating apps to create an abundant dating life in 2025 and beyond, you can join us inside the Life Maxed group. The link is in the description below. We've got programs teaching you how to do all of this, plus you can get the coaching and accountability from me. You can learn how to get pictures that actually get you matches on dating apps, as well as attracting women through your Instagram. Here's some of the results guys are getting inside of the community. Again, if you're interested, links in the description box. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll talk to you later.